we're going to have a look at the Contest 49SC and the 50C. Let's get started, shall we? Stranger to these boats, it's not these exact two that we saw last year, but we had a good look. There are several differences between these boats, but something that marks them apart from the differences actually is what's happening at the arse end, so at your stern. Let's start with this one with, as you can see, there is a huge drop down transom, bathing platform. I think now in Miami they call it your beach area. There's a lot of real estate there. It's all hydraulic rams, electric operated, and that gives you access when it's down to your dinghy or tender garage. You can see the stainless steel ladder there, and actually in the tender is your swing ladder where it'll actually go on where the tender roller is. What we're going to do is climb aboard and then we'll show you what's going on. Contest have a rich heritage of building high-end performance cruisers. They have a very good eye for detail, an excellent reputation over the years, and it's a business that's gone down in the family. So, Lumar feet controls for your transom, for dropping it down. So while we're right in the middle, the bathing platform is up and you need access to the storage or the dinghy garage. You have access on the deck here. Let me get the camera in here, actually shows you how big this boat is. And all the way over there, I don't know if you can see that on the starboard side, and it will be the same on the port side somewhere. You have access to the steering quadrant. Down over there is your hot and thermostatic tap, so hot and cold water, freshwater shower. On the starboard side, have these really nice seats that drop down. Sit down, enjoy your, just like so you can enjoy your sundowners or while you're going along. It's just somewhere really nice to sit and be part of the action. Very nice. And then just below that, so store mooring lines, halyards, few fenders, whatever you want. There's a line bag in here. When you're out sailing, you can clip on forward for your tail ends. Shore power is connected here on the starboard side, and then coming a little bit further forward, you have your Yamaha start-stop, rev counter, and so on. Spot for your VHF. And this one is supporting some really nice, sexy carbon wheels. Raymarine, hybrid touch, chart plotter. You have a bow thruster. There might be an option for a stern thruster. I don't know. I'll actually ask them and let you guys know in the future. You have your touch buttons for in-haul, out-haul. So main Genoa, I think you guys can read pretty well. And then you have your Yamaha electronic throttle controls and autopilot. Just down to the right of the reel is your electrics for your winch. So you have a Lumar 65 self-tailing electric winch. And then forward, as we might as well go forward, you have a Lumar 55 self-tailing electric winch. If you had your mast and everything going on, all your lines and sheets are brought back aft. Very wide side deck, so you're not having to worry about tripping over anything, and have side access starboard and port side, you know, to get onto the pontoons or the marina walls. Something that's quite nice, you have your spray hood forward. Instead of just having it flop down, they've actually integrated a nice spray hood cover, and going forward there's going to be grab handles on your spray hood and then onto your coach roof forward. It's cool. This one's actually set up with flexi-teak. I like it. It's nice seeing, you know, a different coloured, say, corking style instead of the usual black or grey. This white actually pops out at you. And then your Genoa tracks, flush hatches, mast, So flush hatches all the way forward. We'll have a look at these actually when we're inside of the forward cabin, but you have forward and aft opening hatches, so it gives you plenty of ventilation inside. And then coming all the way forward, you have a full integral bowsprit and just one anchor barrel roller. I'm going to check with them because there might be an option to have a second, which would be really handy, especially for mooring balls and sort of stuff like that. As you can see, you have your in-deck furler, and then there is a point forward for a code D, code 0, spinnaker, jenniker, all the way forward if you wish. And the bowsprit, I'm not going to do it while we're indoors because that would be really stupid if I fell off, but the bowsprit's actually wide enough to walk out on, which is really, really nice. And then you have all this solid stainless steel around here and feet controls for your windlass. Just behind the windlass you have your anchor locker, so chain storage and so on is all down there, and then a very voluminous sail locker. I'm not going to get in there. I did last year, so click on the link if you want to have a look, but it's nearly high enough for me to stand up in and close the hatch, so you know it's very, very deep. There's storage if you want to underneath there. Places for your lines, spare sails or fenders. It's the electric box for connection for the windlass. It's all self-explanatory. And this here, if you can see, this will be your crash or watertight bulkhead. And then you have the stainless steel here for forward. It's just up above, coming aft. You know, you've got an attachment. You can put a staysail in or manual furler for a jib if you wish. And we'll give you that all important look aft. I apologise for the people in the image. She's a very, very beamy boat, really sporty. If you look this side, you can actually see how the sporty lines curve in down along the sides. It's just very sexy looking boat. Okay, port side helm, very similar to the starboard side. You have autopilot, compass, and once again your Raymarine hybrid touch chart plotter system and a repeater, wind instruments and so on. You can sort this out the way you want it. You can see you have some more touch buttons, in-haul, out-haul, so you can deal with your sail plan on both pedestals, and then you've got your deck lights and so on. Winches are exactly the same on this side, so we won't go through that again. And then something I really like, you have your main sheet. Everything can be done right in the middle, so you know you got your wheel, got your main sheet electric, foot control for trimming. What more do you want? You know, it's all there. On the port helm you have like hydraulics for your backstays and your vang. Nice deep cockpit. So give you a look in the cockpit. It's quite nice that I'll come forward in the cockpit too, that the cockpit is separated from the action. You're part of the action, but you're separated from the action. So all your lines, halyards, you know, main sheets, jib sheets and that will all be kept in that main aft functional area. It's good. Keeps it out of the cockpit so your guests or your family, you know, can have a nice relaxing time, and a nice big deep cool box area in there. And then companionway. We'll go inside. Yeah, we've got the LED. Sorry about the LED flicker. It's not as bad as last year. There's nothing I can do about that. These are the new Raymarine repeater modules. These can actually be set at any angle you want, or if you want them on your mast too, you can have them set up on your mast, and they can be programmed all sorts of ways. And for the wind instruments, I'll do a separate video for this sometime. It's As I say, I'll do a separate video because there's some really cool stuff you can do with this. Now, sorry to be a bit vague, but that's the way it is. Washboards hide away nicely down in the companionway so they don't get in the way. And then I'm going to go down and look in this beautiful boat. I'm going to stand down in the galley so it gives you a really nice view of the saloon. Starboard side you have an L-shaped settee, and then port side sort of like a chaise longue. Both seating areas can be used as a sea berth if you wish. There's enough width and length on them. As you can see, we'll do this stuff behind me in a minute. This table has been optioned out so it actually drops down, so you can have a really nice big double berth there. These puffy cushions pull out, and I think I will check with them. I'm not sure. I think you might better. Yeah, I'll speak to them. Before I mention that, I'll speak to them. The table folds over. It'll spin and turn so you can have a little coffee table. Give yourself extra room to get behind the seats. I'm going to start on the starboard side because they have their home office navigation area, which is so far at Boot Dusseldorf at the boat show. We've seen quite a few. This is one of my favourites because it is like an office, like a desk. It's a home from home. You're slightly raised up. We'll sit on this very cool seat. So you're slightly raised up. You have huge port lights to look out. 1 second. Yeah, you're okay now. And if you stand up, you just have this view all the way forward. The back of the nav desk area is in carbon. You have your master vault system here. So I don't know if you can see that. So you can check out what's going on with your batteries, etc. Your C zone system, and went over this. I'm going to leave a link to a video up above, a little bit on how the C zone works, and then eventually later on this year we're actually going to go to one of the factories and fully go through one of these systems. And then you have your air conditioning, climate control here, and another Raymarine hybrid touch nav screen. And then if you want, you can have a wind instrument put here, an autopilot. You know, you can pretty much configure it how you want to. What you guys want to know, I know, is what's happening on the business end. So just going to drop that down. Typical Raymarine plug and play. It's the same with the C zone. It's all plug and play, everything interlinks. And then if you have a look up here, everything is labeled, numbered, clearly, easily to identify. So if you need to do any troubleshooting, you can look straight to the manual, find the numbers, work your way back, etc. And then underneath, there's your main breakers. Everything's in the spot. And you can guess by that there's a television on board, plenty of room for charts, as you can see, and all your other bits and pieces. While I'm here, I'm going to go aft straight away. So you have your companionway here, and then electric flush, freshwater flush toilet. This is basically your day heads. It's nicely positioned right by the companionway. Something I love. I know you probably think it's weird. I love it. The design, you have this, I'm sure it's resin or like a type of corium, but it looks like wood, and it's just tactile. It's just really nice. It fiddles all the way along here. And then if you wish, there is a hot and cold water freshwater flush, so you could turn it into a wet head. I would use it to rinse off my wet gear, so I'm not dragging salt all over the boat. And then a really nice, obviously that side opens, a really nice locker. And underneath the sink, more storage. I can't get into the mechanical department this side. We'll see if we can on the other. it's not an issue, but just up behind the companionway going into the cockpit. Okay, thank you. There's an opening hatch for ventilation, and then into your starboard aft cabin. So this is set up as a twin. Pretty sure you can have it as a double if you wish. Don't quote me on that. But a really nice cabin for the kids. Or if maybe, you know, you have a skipper or crew on one of the smaller ones, make a nice crew cabin. Very nice. Private, it's out the way. And then to the side, you'll notice a lot of the cupboards that I open on these boats, the Contest, you'll see that there are fire extinguishers everywhere. Safety is a priority. Hanging locker, you know, plugs, switches. No, it sounds a bit vague, but it's going again. I get anal with these yachts. It's what you're paying for when you're at this sort of end of the market. Really nicely rounded corners, wood grain matches. You have nice material on the sides. The mattresses on the beds are really thick and comfortable. And then you've got material, curved corners. And now I'm not being paid by them. I'm not being paid to say nice things. You know me, I'm honest. If I think it's rubbish, I'll say so. And then a nice deep locker there. These guys have put a lot of time and effort into these boats, and it shows. Cooling fan, huge port light window with privacy blinds, and there's some really nice reading lights aft with USB charging. Something I like, I mentioned this last year, they have this sort of like grooved panelled wood, and I'm still looking for it because I'd actually like it in my bureau. It's really nice, and something you'll notice up here, so you know these boats are made for going on passages. You have eyes for lee cloths. So if I come back and then you see the hatch up here, once again there are attachment points just up. There's one up here and one further behind me for lee cloths. It's meant for going on big passages. Starboard port side, coming across the companionway, port side, you have a drop down. It's a linear galley drop down, so there's 2 steps to get down. I'm just going to look while we're here. We'll just have a look in there. So that goes all the way back, and then a really handy long drawer that goes all the way forward. And if I'm right, there you go, somewhere for your coffee machine. Obviously that comes out if you want it to. Very nice. Drawer up there for all your bits and pieces, and really nice storage. So 2 steps down. This Korean faux wood that's actually in the heads is actually being carried on into the galley. It's so cool. I really like it. As you can see behind here, there's some decent space for big stuff and space for small stuff, spices and stuff like that, and bottles. And this one, because you're able to, because you have the space, you have availability of lithium and solar. We have an induction gimbal hob, big oven up the top, and then some overhead cabinetry behind me. And once again, you know, little details stop all your crockery from smashing around. Someone really nice for all your cups. Okay, large cutlery drawer. As you can see, everything is timber. I'll come back a bit, sorry. There you go, see it a bit better. And then a large pan drawer. You can tell when you're getting into quality boats. You'll know when we went around the Allure 51.9, they have these milled aluminium clips. Before I close that, I didn't notice that, but underneath there is another drawer. So that's nicely hidden out of the way. Very nice. Overhead cupboards, I did that. And then I'm not going to open them all because I'll get moaned at for showing all the storage and saying storage too many times. Hidden away There are shelving areas and some nice ventilation that goes out into the cockpit. Twin, large stainless steel sink with drainer. And once again, we're starting to see this on all the more quality boats. This is that system where you have the tray that can come in and have multiple trays, and you can have a tray with baking and all sorts of stuff. I love them. I think they're fantastic. I think it was wise of them to, you know, take the infills out and hide them. Hot and cold water, fresh water. I should imagine, I don't know if there is, but I should imagine there is an option for a saltwater pump if you want. But with a boat like this, you're more than likely going to option out a water maker if you're going offshore. And then just by the cooker. There you go, handy little spice rack or small bottles of olive oil and that sort of stuff. And then outboard you have a fridge or freezer drawer, and then up above big stainless steel fridge. So you can configure these how you want temperature wise if you wish. And then aft port you have another twin cabin. So this here is the starboard side. Very, very nice. And there you go. Once again, large port light and ventilation going out into the cockpit. I come forward. All over you'll see little bits, little areas tucked out the way like here. So you've got on all your reading lights there are USB charging, and then once again, you know, tucked away in here, which I think is really neat. And also your television will pop up here. It's just really nice, really, really nice. And then you have this corrugated timber yet again, and hidden like a secret panel. Everybody likes secret panels. You have a very large hanging locker, storage area. And then coming forward into the owner's cabin, which is simply stunning. So you have a double semi-island berth. Choice of materials, you know, you can, if you get on their website you'll see or speak to one of the brokers, but you know, there's a choice of colours of materials, so you can set it up and they'll help you set it up aesthetically so you don't make any really stupid wild choices, because you don't want to spend this sort of money on a boat, you know, and well. So you have lovely port lights, both starboard and port, with vanity blinds. Some nice reading lights, storage there. You'll see at the back there are plugs, USB charging and light switches. And when we're up on deck, these are those forward and aft facing flush hatches, so plenty of ventilation. And you'll see once again you have the lee cloth eyes up in here. This is a blue water boat. It's meant for extended cruising, world cruising. Starboard side there's a nice locker. And then port side, same again. There will be storage under the bed. I'm not going to lift it up because it, you know, looks really, really nice. To my left on the port side, there's a really nice vanity. Hi guys. There is an opening hatch up above for ventilation. The mirror part opens and there's some really deep shelves in there. And then to the left of it you have a hanging locker. Once again, fire extinguisher. So, and then there's your vanity space and a really nice like puffy seaty thing to pull out. I won't open these all the way because I've got to shut the door then. Then you have 3 drawers down there. There's plenty of room for your bits and pieces. So if you're wondering what that clip was for, it holds the door and keeps the door off your woodwork. And then on the starboard side you have the owner's ensuite. So electric flush toilet, freshwater flush. Once again, there's that. This one's actually moulded in. That's really nice. Really nice. This is all the mod at the moment, especially in France. Black tats, and I shouldn't say anything because I've got a black kitchen with titanium handles. So, you know, and opening hatch up above. One thing I didn't point out with the others, you have privacy blinds and mosquito netting on all the hatches. And then handy cupboard. And within your shower, so I shall sit on the toilet. So there you have your shower. Real glass doors. And there is storage and access to services behind there. I'm not going to mess around with the doors because knowing my luck, I'll break them. Right, let me grab the key. Right. So your mechanical space is behind the companionway, but in the hallway to the aft starboard cabin. There's your Yanmar lump. Access to your sail drive. Alternators. There is access forward too. So just give you a look around. Fire suppression. Sea strainers. You know, it's all there. Very neat and tidy. And there's an access panel over there too. All nice and clean. Sit over here quickly. Let me know what you think. This is at the, you know, the higher end of the market. Let me know in the comments below what you think. I really like this boat. I loved them when we came around them last year. I'm really lucky to actually be invited to have a look around them this year. Hopefully, we might have an opportunity to get out on one this year. It'd be really, really good if we do. And now, I think we're going to go and have a look at the 50. Cheers.